by this thing, but do that. That's better. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube show live. We are live. I am Captain Trips, aka Ken, aka the King for Mayor. And we're going to talk today about Star Trek because I noticed that a lot of my Star Trek videos happen to get people watching them, so maybe I should do some video about Star Trek. Well, everybody's been talking about Star Trek and talking about Section 31 movie on Paramount Plus and how terrible it is. I haven't seen it. I have not seen the Section 31 movie. Let's take a look at the preview. Section 31 trailer. All right, Paramount. Where to watch it? Rock bottom. People are not saying good things about it. Go away. Full movies online. Section 31. Watch Paramount Plus. Star Trek Section 31 review. Oh, they did. Red Letter Media did a review on it already 7 days ago. Wow. Star Trek Section 31 trailer. I mean, it's a movie, right? It's got to have a trailer, right? Is this legit One Media? Who the fuck's
that? An emperor can only be loyal to duty. Thus does the empire remain strong. Thus does it grow. All hail the emperor!
Philippa Giorgio, you're a tyrant who murdered her own people by the millions. The past always catches up with you.
You're sick.
Okay, so far, if you had not told me it was Star Trek, I would have no idea. It doesn't look like Star Trek or Star Wars or anything.
31.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
31 is a Black Ops division. Spy work. Starfleet is here to make sure no one commits murder.
What a cute idea.
At least they said Starfleet. At least it lets me know what world we're in.
You got some coordination.
It's gonna be bumpy and bad.
You're a bad bitch.
We can't trust you with our lives, but here we go.
Somebody's got to keep it lively, right?
So I don't know. It's I mean, you got this the comic booky font. It's pretty reminds me of Watchmen. But is this a bad thing? I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna find out. People have been putting out videos after this. How do you fix Star Trek? How do you save Star Trek? How, okay, first off, stop watching this trash. If you watch this trash, they will make more trash. Okay? That's step one. As far as the new Trek goes, and you Trek, you're just gonna have to admit that it's its own thing and you don't have to participate in it. Now, if you're an old Trekkie who likes, or Trekker who likes Star Trek the old ways as the better ways, well, you can always, do what I do. And let me, do I have it here? Oh, no, I moved it all up there. I have on my shelf. Oh, you can't see it because my background's been removed, so you can't see it. But I have shelves and shelves of the original Star Trek on DVD and Blu-ray that you can watch. I recommend you buy those, because if you buy those old Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff, then the people at Paramount go, huh, people really like this old stuff. Maybe we should make something like that. I like Lower Decks. Lower Decks is the only real Star Trek that's come out lately, because they're trying to parody the Orville, which is more Star Trek than the new Star Trek, and in trying to ride the coattails of the Orville, Star Trek Paramount accidentally made a Star Trek show called Lower Decks. It's really good. You should check it out. They actually managed to pay attention to the lore in Star Trek Lower Decks. And now they bill it as a comedy, but it's more, this is more Star Trek already than whatever the fuck I just watched. Sector 31.
Everything's going better than expected.
Look, it's a Star Trek show. They're doing Star Trek stuff. That's Star Trek.
I don't want to get promoted. I want to stay charmingly insubordinate.
I mean, sure, they're goofy versions of Star Trek, but at least it's still Star Trek.
Pull their disruptors.
You know, they're sticking to the lore. They got the uniforms on. But if that doesn't satisfy you, here, I'll show you what. You go to YouTube, right, and you type in Star Trek. Just type in Star Trek. Right? Okay. We got Paramount. We got all sorts of Star Trek stuff on here. You can watch little clips from the old shows. Right? You can see interviews with the cast. You can look. Here's Saturday Night Live doing Star Trek. Their Star Trek is more Star Trek than if you're still not satisfied, you can type in Star Trek fan series. Let's see what we got. Look, they got all this stuff. There's all this stuff on YouTube, man. You don't need to fix Star Trek. You don't need to save Star Trek. It's there, dude. Okay, this one right here with this one. Star Trek Continues is so good. Look at this. That's Star Trek, man.
It's handcrafted to my specifications. Balance is excellent. The trigger responds to a pressure of 1 ounce.
I'm quite familiar with the piece. Perhaps we could talk about this?
I rarely draw it unless I mean to use it. Care for a demonstration?
Look at that.
Freeze
That's
program.
Star Trek.
Was she everything I put?
I mean, you might say, okay, well, you know, they're taking liberties. They didn't have holodecks back in the TOS era, but that's okay. They're fans making their version of Star Trek, and it's good.
Promise, sir.
And more. I've never seen a holographic
This guy
program
here.
this detailed before. I swear I could almost smell the gun oil.
Well, she's still in the experimental stage.
Okay, so this guy here, this is James Doohan's son. This is the son of James Doohan playing Scotty. All right, Star Trek Continues. This entire cast is excellent. They all do such a great job of portraying these original cast members.
Power levels at 9%.
Impact in 5 seconds. Jim, we're out of options, but you don't do it.
All right, that's Star Trek Continues. They've got another one. It's called Phase 2. Okay, these guys. Oh my God.
The following program.
Unusual amount of interference on
Now,
subspace.
these guys did it before the other guys. They actually built all these sets. They were in New York and now they're down in Texas. But they rebuilt all the original Star Trek sets. And these are you can rent these out. You can go film your own Star Trek.
Aye, sir. Captain.
You can go rent this very set and make your own Star Trek. That's how you fix Star Trek. You make your own Star Trek.
Lieutenant Uhura, sound red alert.
Look at that hair.
And photon torpedoes online.
What's really great about Phase 2 here,
I'm at a loss to explain, Captain. Sensors were being...
you know, is they get the original cast members back to do the show. They don't play their original characters, but sometimes they do. Like they have one here. This might be a good one. So they have one with like Sulu. He's played by this young guy.
If that bird of prey isn't going to Porksmouth us aboard it.
That about sums it up.
Don't tell me about my inactive abs.
It certainly motivates me.
And then he gets like, goes through like a time thing.
Although you no longer
and he turns into old Sulu.
So, the famous
played by Sulu. The real deal.
I won't tell you this.
They do a couple of those. And it's great. You know, yeah, see they got better with the hair and the makeup and trying to be authentic. But yeah, you can rent this set. You can make your own Star Trek. Also, check this out. Star Trek what do they call it? FX? You know, VFX, Star Trek VFX. So you've got these people who are going back and doing these Star Trek VFX. There's all these VFX shots that people make for Star Trek. Like I'll spend, you know, hours just watching these, man. Seeing how people have reinterpreted these different shots from Star Trek and how they do it on their computers or with models.
I think this new ship was put together by monkeys. Oh, she's got a fine engine, but half the doors won't open.
How beautiful that is.
Guess whose job it is?
That's all I want to do. I just want to watch the Starship Enterprise float through space in slow motion for hours on end. You can do that. I think it's great.
Landing maneuver. Enterprise, you have.
You know?
Safe harbor until situations.
There's. Yeah. Here we go. Somebody's doing some in Blender. I haven't seen this one before. Yes. Look at this. Look, I'm in Star Trek. It's Star Trek. You don't need to fix Star Trek. It doesn't need fixing. See, and they're going with a whole like 2009 vibe on their thing, you know? Because that's the Trek that they love. Look at them guns coming out, baby. Excelsior versus the Constitution. This is exciting. Exciting stuff. Transwarp drive. Look at that transwarp drive. Dude, that's sick. That's sick. We're having an at-warp space battle. Look at thrusters. Look at those thrusters. You don't need to fix Star Trek. There's nothing to fix. You just gotta do it. If you can't find what you're looking for on YouTube that some fan has made, man, make your own. You know, pull out the Stable Diffusion and type in Star Trek into Stable Diffusion and hit generate. No, I don't need 100 images, Jesus. Just need one. Just one. Look. Look. It made Star Trek. I just typed in Star Trek. That's all I did. Look at that's definitely Star Trek. There's no doubt about it. I am looking at a computer-generated Star Trek. Right? Look. All I did was type in Star Trek. I got Star Trek. Okay, their eyes are a little wonky. But I only ran it for 20 frames, so, you know, 20 generations. I could bump it up. Star Trek. Here, let's make it a little more widescreen. Star Trek ship. Let's see what happens. Type it in. Hit generate. Hit generate. What you got for me? You know, my generation's going a little slow because I'm using the CUDAs for my video broadcast here. Normally it'd be a little faster. All right, it's not quite right, but it's something. It's a start. You can play around with it, man. You can learn Blender. You can go on WhatsApp, and you can write yourself a little Star Trek story, or you could use you know, you could go to like I don't know, man, like fucking something. What Gemini. Yeah, give me Gemini. Oh, well, maybe not that. Use Gemini over here. Gemini. AI. Gemini. Yes. Hi, Gemini. Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Hello. Allow while visiting this site. Hello, Gemini. Can you write me a quick story set in the world of Star Trek, the original series? Enter. The bridge of the Enterprise hummed with its familiar low thrum. Captain Kirk leaned forward, his brow furrowed as he stared at his view screen. A swirling nebula of vibrant purples and blues filled the void, an anomaly unlike they had encountered before. Sensors are registering a strange energy signature, Captain, Spock reported, his voice even. It seems to be emanating from the nebula itself. Strange. How, Mr. Spock? Kirk asked, with a hint of intrigue in his voice. Illogical, Captain. The readings fluctuate wildly, defying all known scientific principles, as if the nebula is alive. Kirk exchanged a look with Dr. McCoy, who stood behind him. Alive, Jim? You know I've seen some strange things out here, but a living nebula, that's a new one. Indeed, Doctor, Spock injected. However, the data suggests a complex energy signature within. It could potentially pose a threat. Mr. Sulu, alter course, Kirk commanded. We'll approach cautiously. I want a full spectrum scan of that nebula. Let's see what we're dealing with. I mean, that's Star Trek. You don't need to fix it. It's part of our culture, man. And the screwheads over at Paramount can make whatever crap they want and say, oh, well, only we get to make Star Trek. No, you don't. No, you don't. That ship sailed a long time ago, man. Ain't no judge in this fine nation the United States of America is going to stop you from making your little Star Trek thing? Nobody. YouTube, they ain't going to stop you from putting it out on there onto the YouTubes. You can put it on anything. You can put it on your TikToks or your whatever else kids these days use. Facebook, I don't know. Instagram. There's no end to the Star Trek. If you cannot find Star Trek, there's something wrong with you. Okay? If you cannot make your own Star Trek, you're just not trying hard enough. No one needs to fix Star Trek. There's nothing to fix. Star Trek is whatever you want to make out of it. And that's up to you. Anyway, that's my video on Star Trek, because people seem to like to watch my videos that have something to do with Star Trek. And I've fulfilled my duty as a YouTuber talking about Star Trek for you guys. So hopefully you'll see this video and you'll realize that, you know, Star Trek is out there, and you just have to be willing to put in the tiniest little bit of effort and look for it. And don't care about what Paramount's making. Paramount doesn't make Star Trek. Paramount makes money. And if you want Star Trek, don't look to Paramount for it. Look to the fans. Look to the people out there who love Star Trek. I mean, look at the Orville. You know, Seth MacFarlane made the Orville because he loves Star Trek. And the people who love Star Trek will always continue to make Star Trek. And all you have to do is find them and enjoy it.